Good afternoon, everyone. Derek from the Rangers Review here with your daily news bulletin this Friday, the 4th of April. Lots of Rangers news stories doing the rounds. Before we get stuck right in, let's have a quick word for our podcast sponsors, S1 Jobs. If you're looking to hand in your transfer request, then head over to s1jobs.com and upload your CV today. With thousands of jobs across Glasgow, Edinburgh, and the surrounding area, you'll find the one at S1 Jobs. Right, we'll start with John Souttar. He, alongside Neil McCann, were speaking at the Rangers pre-Hibs press conference yesterday. The player press conference was embargoed until 12 noon today, so we now have been able to hear from the Rangers defender. He talks about a number of things, the challenge tomorrow, Athletic Bilbao, and of course his contract situation as well. And he goes into the final year of his deal over the summer. Lots of talk about whether he will sign an improved contract, John Souttar, and this is what he had to say about that in his press conference.
And let others deal with what they have to deal with, and hopefully it all gets resolved. Yeah.
Would that be something then whenever the permanent manager is, that's one thing that you'd like to address fairly soon?
Yeah, but as I say, there's so much going on at the club just now. I'm sure when there's a bit of stability and stuff, then that'll get sorted.
So there you go, John Souttar there speaking about his contract situation. He hopefully says he'll get it sorted, but there is a bit of upheaval at the moment. Would you like to see him stay at Ibrox and sign that new deal? I think many would. He's been a top performer for Rangers this season, and I certainly think a new deal should be in the offing. He continued, to be honest, I've not spoken about my contract for a while. There have been loads of changes at the club, so the situation has gone on the back burner. I've not spoke to anyone about it for a while. That was John Souttar on the fact that he's missing the first leg of that Europa League quarter-final against Athletic Club Bilbao. He said, nobody's really mentioned the European game, to be honest. Everyone has been fully focused on the weekend. Everyone is playing for their part next Thursday, so everyone has to perform at the weekend to do that. I'm suspended for Thursday, so it'll be a hard watch for me. But it's not about me, it's about the team. So if I don't play and we win, I couldn't care less. He will be a big miss, John Souttar, both he and Mohamed Diamandi. Out of that first leg, still frustrated about that because I think Souttar's booking was a tad harsh. Certainly Diamandi's was. Fenerbahce boy dived and he roped the referee in and he was shown a yellow card. And another thing, I mentioned this on the briefing earlier on in the week, UEFA have to sort out the threshold on bookings. It should be wiped after the group stage campaign, but they carry on forward, which is harsh for me, for the players, and certainly for the two that are going to miss on Thursday night. Now, Souttar was also asked about the clean sheet situation. Rangers have yet to record a shutout after 6 games under Barry Ferguson's guidance. He says that of course you want to keep clean sheets as a defender, and that stat is not good enough here. We need to get back to keeping clean sheets between now and the end of the season. Nobody at the back wants to concede goals. That's a mentality we need to get from the forward line to the back line, that we need to be solid and we need to be hard to beat. We need to create that mentality so we don't concede as much as we're conceding now. It's been frustrating. You really don't want to concede goals, especially as a defender or goalkeeper. You pride yourself on keeping the ball away from the goal and not conceding goals. So that is really something we need to change, because that statistic is not good enough. So, you can read everything that you had to say over on the Rangers Review website, folks, or you can watch that press conference in full over on the YouTube channel as well. Other bits of news. You will have seen that former Rangers player Ryan Kent has been speaking following his move to the MLS side, Seattle Sounders. He ends his a few months exile from the game after his contract at Fenerbahce was terminated at the tail end of last year. And he's opened up on the last few seasons, last couple of seasons, and says it's been difficult for him. Speaking to the Seattle Sounders media department, he says problems that happened the first year with the people above, that there were certain things that wouldn't allow me to carry on playing at that club. Talking about Fenerbahce. I've had a couple of difficult years in my career, probably more than anything, trying to find enjoyment in the game. I've turned down a lot of teams, but ultimately Seattle was a team for me. There's a host of factors, I think, more than anything, just the sort of honesty from the people I was speaking to, and they're really passionate about what they do. They have a good relationship with the players. Just from spending a short time here in the dressing room, that's a great bunch of guys. So, certainly his last year at Ibrox, he was nowhere near the levels that we have seen from him in the past. His Fenerbahce move was a disaster, let's be honest. So he's now moved to Seattle Sounders. And wish him all the best. I just feel that we may have seen the best of Ryan Kent in a Rangers jersey. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on over there. Other news, as I touched on, Athletic Club Bilbao come to Ibrox this coming Thursday for the first leg of that Europa League quarter-final. Now, their defender, Uri Alvarez, has vowed to treat that game as the final. The final, of course, being held at Athletic Bilbao's home ground this year. He said, in the dressing room, we're very optimistic. We play Villarreal before we go to Scotland to face Rangers, and we're treating every game between now and the end of the season as a final for us because we have got so much to play for. We have kept a lot of clean sheets this season. We are very confident about our defensive capabilities at Athletic. All 11 of our players defend as a team when we need to. The whole team is convinced that on Sunday we are going to beat Villarreal and then go on and beat Rangers in the quarterfinals. If we do that, if we do what we've been doing, pressing teams right from the strikers and not let them play, we are very confident we can beat anyone. There is a great feeling around the club at the moment. Hopefully that great feeling dissipates on Thursday. As I touched on many times before, I think it's going to be a real tough task for Rangers to get the better of Athletic Bilbao, a team that are lying fourth in La Liga at this moment in time. They are a top outfit. Touched on the final this season at Bilbao as well. If Rangers get the better of them, it would be magnificent, up there with any results in recent years. I think it would better Dortmund, to be honest with you. It would be that good if Barry can mastermind get the better of Athletic Bilbao. Other bits of news you may have seen, of course, yesterday, Rangers issuing those season ticket renewals. And they've issued a warning to supporters and the singing section, threatening its future ahead of the 2025-26 campaign. Now, club officials have made their position clear. If behaviour doesn't improve amongst supporters in that singing section, then it faces potential disbandment or significant restrictions during certain matches next season. So a club statement read, Ibrox is known as one of sport's most famous arenas, with the atmosphere generated inside our home being the envy of clubs across the globe. To further enhance that wonderful atmosphere, since the beginning of the 24-25 season, Rangers has provided a dedicated singing section located in the Copeland front at the traditional Rangers end of Ibrox Stadium, and the noise and colour generated there can only be of benefit to Rangers teams into the future. Rangers remains committed to providing a singing section in the Copeland front for the forthcoming 2025-26 season. However, the singing section also presents the club with heightened security, safety and regulatory concerns. The issues of concern impact the match-going experience for other supporters and have financial and reputational consequences for the club. Accordingly, for the remainder of this season, the club will be monitoring the operation of the singing section and the behaviours of groups and individuals who frequent it. If the issues of concern continue, the club may reluctantly conclude that it is necessary to withdraw the singing section for season 2025-26 for certain matches, or indefinitely if deemed necessary for the safety of our supporters and or the benefit of the club. Should this occur, Rangers will be in touch with affected season ticket holders to communicate what, if any, further action will be taken in accordance with Section 8 of its season ticket terms and conditions. It continues, the club also reserves the right, if the issues persist, to add a surcharge to the singing section to cover singing section to cover the additional costs incurred by the club resulting from these issues, including in the case of serious and or persistent failure to adhere to the club's ground regulations and or the club's season ticket terms and conditions and or any code of conduct. Rangers have engaged with some constituents of the singing section on its operation and will consult with others in due course. All supporters located in the singing section will be invited to collaborate on a code of conduct for the area to be introduced for the new season. The club would also like to remind supporters of the importance of upholding the same behavioural standards expected of Rangers supporters at Ibrox in attending away matches, both domestically and in Europe. The club's strongest asset is its supporters, and the noise and colour provided by the singing section is hugely appreciated by everyone at the club. However, the backing cannot bring the name of Rangers into any further disrepute nor compromise spectator safety within Ibrox, and the club shall take action it deems necessary to prevent any harm that may be caused. So there you go, folks. A stern warning from the club on those situated in that singing section to curb their behaviour and have threatened the disbandment of that area. What do you make of that, folks? I'm intrigued to find out what your views are on it. Do let us know in the comments. Right, that'll do us there. A big thank you to you all for tuning in and for your support to the channel as ever. Hopefully your team wins tomorrow. We'll have you covered with all the usual pre-match and post-match videos from Ibrox, and then I'll be back on Monday morning. Until then, enjoy your Friday and your weekend, and we'll speak to you later. Bye for now.